Hello, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions, and I thank you for your time. This video message is for nonprofit leaders who need grant money for their nonprofit organizations. Again, this video is recorded specifically for nonprofit leaders who want to learn how to win grant money for their nonprofit organizations. There are 3 steps that you must complete before you even consider applying for grant money. There are 3 steps that you must complete before you even consider writing a grant proposal to apply for grant money. Here are the 3 steps. Step 1, validate filings. Okay. Step 2, prove value. Okay. Step 3, know how much money you need in grant funding. Those are the 3 steps you must be able to complete prior to asking for grant money. So let's elaborate on each one of those steps one at a time. So step 1, validate filings. Validate filings means you want to make sure that your nonprofit organization is in good standings with the state Secretary of State's office in the state in which you operate and with the IRS. So again, you want to validate the filings on the state level and on the federal level. On the state level, you want to make sure that your articles of incorporation are in good standing. You can go to the Secretary of State's office where you are operating a nonprofit, whatever state that is, and check the status of your articles of incorporation for your nonprofit, because you want to make sure they are in good standing, because you will have to prove that when you apply for grant funding. The second thing you want to check for on the state level is whether or not your charitable license is in good standing. The charitable solicitations license is the license that you should have in order to have permission to raise money in that state. Every state requires that you go through an application process to make sure that your nonprofit organization has earned permission to request money or to raise money in that state. And every year there is a fee for filing that. So you want to make sure that those 2 documents are in good standing. Your articles of incorporation and your charitable solicitation license on the state level. Now, by the way, every state has different names for these 2 documents. So it may be named differently, but you will be able to determine that when you go to the Secretary of State's office in the state in which you operate to make sure those 2 things are in good standing. Now, on the federal level, you want to make sure your 501c3 nonprofit status is active. You don't want to apply for grant funding with a revoked 501c3 status, because the funder, which is the organization or foundation that is giving away grant money, they're going to do their due diligence to make sure that your 501c3 status is active before they disperse any money to your organization. So you want to be proactive and go to the irs.gov website and do a tax exempt organization search. Type in your EIN and do a search, and the system will let you know whether or not your nonprofit is in good standing. So that's the first step that you must complete before you even consider filing or applying for grant funding. That is step 1, validate your filings. Okay, step 2. Step 2 that you must complete, once again, is prove the value. Prove the value of your nonprofit organization. Why would a funder want to give you money anyway for your nonprofit organization? What are you doing that's so special that they want to invest in it monetarily? Well, in order to prove the value in step 2, you have to write a great and enticing and descriptive program description. You have to describe the program that your organization offers that deserves money. You have to prove the value. And the best way to do that is to answer 6 questions in your program description. Let me get those questions now. The 6 questions that you want to answer in your program description to prove the value of the services you want to offer are as follows. Who, and I know it maybe it should be pronounced as whom, but who, that's the first one. What, where, when, why, and how. In your program description, you should answer those 6 questions: who, what, where, when, why, and how. Okay, let's talk about them. Who or whom? Who are you serving? That's your target group. You want to describe the people that you are serving in the community. Okay, let's say, for example, you want to offer a reading program for youth. Okay, the who or whom would be 3rd grade reading students. That's who you want to target, who are reading below grade level. So that answers the first one. What? What do you want to do for that target group? You want to teach them how to read on grade level, okay? Where? Where do you want to offer these services? This is where you want to describe the service area in which you want to offer the services. The town, the city, the community. You want to describe them, describe the location where you're going to offer the reading services. When? When do you want to offer the reading services or the reading classes? Let's say Saturdays from 10 until 2 p.m. And everything I'm sharing with you, by the way, with these questions, you want to really elaborate. You want to really provide descriptions that let them see the value, right? Prove value of what you're offering. So you want to elaborate. You want to tell a story about what you're doing. Why? Why do you want to offer this program? You want to offer the reading program because children are reading below grade level, and you want to provide some statistical data to support that. And then finally, how? How are you going to do that? You're going to do it by hiring certified reading teachers who specialize in remedial reading services. So again, those 6 questions explain the second: prove value. Okay, you have to prove the value of what you want to do. Now, the third step, like I said, is step 3. You have to tell them, how much is this going to cost? How much do you need in grant money? You'll be surprised to know that there are many people who are seeking grant funding that have no idea how much money they really need. You say, well, how much money do you need to offer the reading program? I don't know, whatever you can give us is fine. We need the money. Beggars can't be choosy. We need the money. So whatever you can spare. That's not an answer. That's not the answer that a grant funder is looking for. The grant funder wants specific data, specific numbers on what you want to do. So in order to explain that, and in order to explain how much you need to sit down and follow these steps. Step 1, think. Sit down and do brainstorming. Sit down and brainstorm about what will it take to offer this reading program for 3rd graders who are reading below grade level. What will it really take to offer that service? Brainstorm, write down everything you can think of. Do you need paper? Do you need notebooks? Do you need pencils? Do you need pens? Do you need notepads, notebooks? Do you need flip charts? What all do you need? Do you need a projector? Do you need a screen for the projector? Everything you can possibly think of, write it down during your brainstorming session. How many teachers do you need? Do you need teacher assistants? Will you need a secretary to keep track of everything and handle logistics? What all do you need? Will you need food? Are you going to give them food when they come? And everything you think of, write it down. Then you want to add everything up that you need. How do you do that? Well, first thing you need to determine is how many students are you going to serve. Let's say you're planning to serve 50 kids during the summer. So whatever you order, whatever you need, more than likely it's going to be times 50. So you have to add up 50 notebooks, 50 packs of pencils, 50 packs of markers, 50 notepads, all of those things you have to add up, okay? Now, not only add them up, you have to prove where they're coming from. You have to show where those things are coming from. How do you know it's going to cost $5 for a pack of pens? Well, we went to Walmart. Well, put that in your list, because the way that I write grant proposals and the way that I do my budgets, and this is what you're doing as a budget, I create an Excel spreadsheet and I list everything that I need in the spreadsheet, the number that I need, and then I multiply it by the cost, and then I show the source. So I have, like, I think 4 columns. The first column is a description or a list of things that I need. The second column is the cost per unit of everything that I need. The third column is the number that I need, that'll be 50. And then the fourth column is the total amount. And the fifth column is the source. And since most grants can be submitted online now, you can put a link to the source of what you need. And then when the grant funder looks at your budget, they can click on the link to Walmart and see that the pens cost $5 a pack. So that's what you want to do. And then you want to explain ROI, return on investment. What would the grant funder get out of this? I mean, why? Why? Let's say your budget came to $25,250. Okay, why would they want to give you $25,250? You have to explain their return on investment. What are they getting out of it? Well, they're going to be recognized in the community as an investor in a remedial reading program for youth who can't read on grade level. That's one. Number two, they're going to know that children are going back to school confident in their abilities to read on grade level, and that's going to be generational impact. If a child knows how to read, they can be successful in life. If they're successful in life, then their children are going to be successful in life more than likely, and they're going to impact their entire community. They're going to be able to get a good job one day. So you want to explain all of the returns on investments that you can think of to encourage the grant funder to give you money. So before I wrap it up, what do you think about this presentation? How do you like the way that I'm teaching? Are you learning? Am I making sense? You see, I've been writing grants since 2003 for my nonprofit organizations. I have 2 under my name. And I have written grant proposals for my first nonprofit organization to help us survive. Okay? I haven't written grant proposals for other nonprofit entities because I just don't have that time. But in my desire to share information with you, I want to let you know what works and what does not work. So these 3 steps that I've explained that you should complete before you even consider applying for grant money is what I had to learn to complete the hard way. So I don't want you to go through that challenge the way that I did. So I want to invite you, if you like my learning, if you like the way that I'm teaching today, I want to invite you to choose something that I'm offering. It's called the $25,000, okay, grant writing challenge boot camp. Okay, once again, I want to invite you to enroll in the $25,000 grant writing challenge boot camp. I'm offering this 4-week challenge to you for me to hold your hands and teaching you from start to finish how to write grant proposals. And my guarantee to you is if you join this boot camp challenge and you complete the steps that I outline in this challenge, if you complete all of the activities, if you do all of your homework, I promise you that by the 6 months after you complete this challenge, you will have at least $25,000 in your nonprofit organization's bank account, or I will refund your investment in the challenge. That's a promise. Because, like I said, I want to share with you the information and the experiences that I have personally gained since 2003 when I started writing grant proposals. I want to share it all with you through a curriculum that I have created by leveraging my years of experience creating courses for major companies like Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Duke Energy, and IBM. You see, I have been working simultaneously in two positions and two capacities for 20 some years. Okay, on the corporate side, the companies that I just listed, and then on the nonprofit side. So I am merging all of those skills together and putting them all in this boot camp for you. And I know it's going to work, or I wouldn't guarantee your money back. What is the investment? $450 for 4 weeks of intensive training. You will have the ability to do independent training on your own. I'm going to give you video-based courses, just like I'm showing you here. And then we will meet 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, for coaching sessions. It's a phenomenal program, a phenomenal boot camp. I've attended many programs and many boot camps in my career on both sides, corporate and nonprofit, and I have yet to see one that provides so much value for $450. Now you might be saying, I don't have it. We're struggling. I don't have $450. That's okay. Do a payment plan. Break it up in 2 payments, $225 each, or break it up in 3 payments, $150 each. Whatever suits your budget. And that's per month. So that means you won't have paid me in full by the time you finish with the boot camp. But I trust you. I trust you. I trust that you will pay me in full. Now, again, this is only the beginning. What I'm teaching you today, this is only it's not even a tip of the iceberg. It's nothing compared to what you're going to learn. But if you learn something from step 1, validate filings, step 2, prove your value, and step 3, understand the importance of knowing how much money you need, that's how I teach. That's the way I teach. That's my teaching strategy. I try to break things down in easy to digest ways. If you want to learn more about the boot camp, it's in the description, and it's also tagged or pinned to the comments. Go ahead and enroll. The boot camp, a new boot camp starts every Monday at 10 a.m. That's orientation to the boot camp, okay? If you want to join the boot camp, you have to pay your fee, either the full $450 or make a payment by Saturday before the boot camp, by 5 p.m. to Saturday before the Monday in which the boot camp starts. Every Monday at 10 a.m., we have new people coming into the boot camp. Again, this is something that I've worked on for years. Some of you know that I have taught the grant writing masterclass for years. Since 2007 is when I introduced my grant writing masterclass, and I never felt like I did a good enough job, because that's an independent class. You do it on your own. We don't have any communications. You just do it on your own. You send me your work and I grade it. Some people say it's fantastic, but I felt like I need to do more as far as interacting with you. So that's why I have this boot camp, okay? So I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. My educational background, I have a master's degree in teaching. I have an MBA, I have a bachelor's degree, all of that good stuff. But what's most important is from the nonprofit sector, I have 3 nonprofit management certificates, one from Duke University, one from Wake Forest University, and one from Winthrop University, which is my alma mater. So I want to share with you my experience as a grant writer. I want to pour into you so that you will be able to get the grant money you deserve for your nonprofit organization. And contrary to all of the stuff you're hearing in the media right now about no grant money is available or this is a bad time for nonprofits, that is not true. This is a wonderful time for nonprofits because we need to get together to support people who are losing benefits, right? The federal government is cutting grant money for many nonprofit organizations, and they are suffering because of it. This is a chance for you to close those gaps. through your nonprofit organization, and money is available. Corporations must give money to nonprofit organizations in the communities in which they serve. This is the perfect time to ask for corporate and foundation money because they have money available that they have to disperse. Another reason it's a good time to ask for money is because a lot of people are not going through the grant writing process anymore. They are choosing to go a quicker route, which such as through GoFundMe and things of that nature. So grant writing is a very good way to generate revenues for your nonprofit organization today. So again, I'm Susan Woods of Susan Woods Nonprofit Solutions. Click on the link in the description to learn more about the $25,000 grant writing challenge boot camp. I'm guaranteeing you, if you don't have $25,000 in your nonprofit's bank account 6 months after you complete the grant writing boot camp, I will refund your $450 100%. That's a guarantee that I am saying right here on this video. That's how much I know, how much confidence I have in the quality of that boot camp. Thank you so much for your time and have a great day.